Hello, friends, and welcome to yet another lecture on operation research. Today's topic is maximum flow in a network, but with a slight different twist. We will be using MS Excel solver add-in to solve it. Okay, so it's going to be the solution is going to be pretty much automatic, and that's the beauty of solving it in Excel. I'm Professor Arvind Prasad. There is a network. Now, this network has been solved manually, that is using paper, pen, and calculator. And the solution, that is the manual solution, is already given in one of the previous videos. The link to that video is on your top right, and it is also in the bottom. Now, the same network, we'll solve it using Excel. Okay, so that would give you a better idea. If you have a look at that video, then you can compare the manual method with this method and you would get a fair amount of idea that what are the difference, what is the advantage of using Excel. Okay, so let's get ahead. So you have the network here, the source is on 1 and the sink is node number 7, and 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, they are the intermediate nodes. Now the numbers displayed near the arrows, which are of course the arcs, are the maximum flows that you can hold or maximum flow that can go through any arc, right? So let's get ahead. So let's open our Excel sheet. So there the Excel sheet has been opened, and what we have is, let me save it once. Yeah, there. And we have the network for reference so that we can copy down the values the way we intend. Okay. Now the way I'm solving here, okay, the logic behind the method I'm using in Excel, the way I'm setting up the spreadsheet, that has already been discussed. The logic or the algorithm behind it is already discussed in one of my previous videos. It was displayed for a minimum spanning tree problem, and you can always go and have a look at that. The link to that is also given. But if you do not wish to if you wish to use this video as a standalone lecture to learn the method, that's fine too. So what we do first here is we make a note of all the arcs, right? So the arcs are always from a node to a node, right? So from node 1, you have arc 1, 2. From node 1, you have arc 1, 3. And from node 1, you have arc 1, 4, right? Similarly, from node 2, you have just one arc, that is 2, 5. From 3, it's 3, 4, 5, 6. And finally, from 4, you have only one arc, that is 6, right? Now, the final nodes are 5 and 6. They terminate at node 7, right? Now, what we do is we note down the constraints of the arcs. So the constraints are the numbers, as I told you earlier, the numbers near the arcs. So the constraint for 1, 2 is 6, 1, 3 is 4, and 1, 4 is 1, right? And 2, 4 it's 2, 2, 5 it's 2, 2, 5 it's 4, I'm sorry, 3, 4 it's 3, 3, 5 it's 1, and 3, 6 it is 3, and 4, 6 it is 4, 5, 7 it is 4, and 6, 7 it is 9. Okay, so we have made note of all our arcs. Now what we do is we make a note of all our nodes. So the nodes that we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, 5, 6, and 7. So these are the nodes now. Now, what are the flows entering the node and what are the flows leaving the node? So what we do here is I had left this column blank here. Now here what we do is we write here, we give the heading to this column flow, F-L-O-W, flow, right? You may or may not use what I'm doing now. It all depends on your comfort, but this is available in Excel and this is also available in many other spreadsheet programs like LibreOffice Calc, which is of course an open source spreadsheet solver, okay, or a spreadsheet. So what we can do here is we can select these two, then we can go to data, okay, or rather data, yes. And then afterwards in data, once again, formulas. Yeah, we come under formulas and in formulas, we can go to create from selection. When we say create from selection and we just select top row, it will create the names. So it says replace existing definition of from. Yes, I had just created it. Okay. Now we can go to the name manager and we can check. Okay, you have from and you have to, and these are the names that are given to these two column data. Okay, right. So what we can do here now is that the nodes, we can note down the flow that is entering in the nodes and flow that is leaving out of the nodes. Okay. Now flow that is entering in the node is given by sum if. Okay. Then we select the column 2, then we select the node, and then we select the flow. Okay, I could have also given this flow, that is this column for flow, the name flow, but I chose not to do it. So just to demonstrate that if you do not choose to name any column, you can always select it and press F4 to make it is into an absolute reference. Okay, right, there we are. Now similarly, out can be written as sum if, then from, okay, then node 1, and you select the flow. Okay, so this, there we are, and there we are. So function F4 and enter. So let us say I have a value of flow 3 here. Enter. So the flow out from node 1. Okay. That is in arc node 1, 2. Let us say if it is 3. So from out it is 3. Let us say I add one more flow here. That is from 1, 3 I add a flow of 1. So it's going to be 4. Now you have understood what sum if means here, right? So initial values is something which I just give as 1. You can give it as 0 if you wish to. And then what we do is we find the sum of in and out here. Okay, that is the sum if in and the sum if out, right? Oops, sorry. And then afterwards, we find the net flow in any node. Okay, so the net flow always in a network. Okay, this is the usual, what you say as method, or not the usual method, or this is the way it is there done in a network. In a network, always, whenever you consider a node, okay, the net flow is always the flow coming in is negative and the flow flowing out is positive. Okay. So the flow coming in is negative and the flow flowing out is positive. So I select out first and I put minus and then I put in. Okay. There we are. There we are done. Okay. Now remember one thing, that for each and every intermediate node, the flow has to be conserved. That is, the net flow coming in should be equal to the net flow going out. So that also becomes a constraint in this problem. So what we do is right onwards from node 2 to node 6, okay, we put the constraint as 0. So this is your net flow constraint. Okay, So this is your net flow constraint now, right? So we are pretty much done in setting up. Now we have to just solve it. So you go to data, you go to solver, and we start now. Okay. Now to start with, what we have is you have to minimize, maximize. So that's the question. You have to minimize the flow or you have to maximize the flow or whatever it is. Now, this is where you have to do something about it. Okay. What is your objective? Okay. The question is, what is your objective? So the objective could be maximizing the net flow in 1, because that is what you're trying to do. You want to maximize the net flow in 1, right? From 1. And that should also be at the end, that should also be equal to the net flow into 7. The net flow from 1 should be maximized and its value should be equal to net flow into 7. So let's take that now. So we choose this, we say maximum, and then of course we select the flow. So these selections, okay, by changing variable cells, it is these flows that we have to change, right? Now we have to start putting the constraints. So add. It's fairly simple that these flows have to be less than equal to the constraints given to you. That is the maximum flows. This is the first constraint we have, right? So add it. Now what is going to be the second constraint? The second constraint that we are going to have is that the net flows here, right, is going to be equal to zeros. So these zeros, correct? Right? And click cancel. And of course, select simplex linear programming. Okay. And click solve. You're done. Click OK. And there we have the value. The net flow is 9. Now you can go and check in. Manually it was solved and the answer was 9. Okay. And there we had used the min cut max flow idea also. That is, it's a heuristic basically to find out what would be the maximum flow, and then we had matched it to it. So now as you can see here, it becomes fairly simple. Even if the network was complex, you could have solved it easily using this method. The only thing is, whenever the solution is right, and in all cases the solution always comes up as correct, that the net flow in, that is in node 7, should be equal to net flow out from 1, and net flow into 7 is obviously going to be negative, because what we had done is whatever flow was going into a network, right, was taken as negative. So it's going to sum up as negative. And whatever flows were going out from a node were positive. So it's but natural that the net flow of node 1 is going to be a positive value, because 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4, they go out of that node, right? So that is the way you solve it. And I hope this lecture helped you in clearing your ideas about how you use Excel to solve the maximum flow problem. Remember, if you have lower and higher constraints in a arc, you can even take those constraints. Now what you can do here is the constraints you can put as upper constraint and lower constraint, and just put those values here and go, while in the solver you can go and put the upper and lower constraints here in this area, that is adding it here. Once select the flow, take the upper constraint, once again select the flow and take the lower constraint. That's all, and put the proper signs, and you should be able to do it without any issues here. So fine friends, I'm done with my lecture. Hope this has helped you. Do like and subscribe my channel, and do share this video with people who would be interested in this lecture, or do share it with everybody. Not an issue here. And yes, do put in your comments. They keep motivating me. Bye, friends.